Everyone. The Dawnfall sect has broken the agreement, so we should all disregard it as well. The golden immortal of the Blaze Dragon Tao declared, then immediately shot forth through the air as if he were worried that the vast Flow Palace cultivators would try and intercept him, vanishing into the stone gates in the blink of an eye. Yunni took a glance at the four vast Flow Palace cultivators, then also flew through the stone gates as a streak of silver light. The vast Flow Palace cultivators made no attempt to stop them. With that, the only ones still left outside were the vast Flow Palace cultivators, and they exchanged a glance with one another, then made a series of hand seals to cast a string of incantation seals into the blue light screen. At the same time that the blue light screen emerged, they had received a secret message from Luo Qinghai through voice transmission. The light screen rippled slightly, then rapidly shrank down into a blue door of light. Keep guarding the entrance, the fair-skinned scholar instructed as he turned to the true immortals of the vast Flow Palace. The true immortals instantly nodded in response, following which the four golden immortals flew into the blue door of light in a flash. Immediately thereafter, the door of light began to ripple before quickly beginning to fade away. Right at this moment, Yunni appeared out of thin air amid a flash of white light, much to the surprise of the vast Flow Palace true immortals. Yunni paid no heed to them at all as she also flew into the door of blue light, just in time before it completely faded out of existence, leaving the vast Flow Palace true immortals to stare at each other with bewildered expressions. Inside the palace, the vast expanse of dazzling silver light suddenly flashed momentarily before receding like the tide. All of the golden light within the palace faded away as well, and yet another pill tribulation was successfully negotiated. Two of the dragons engraved onto the pill cauldron opened their mouths, and a pair of high zenith pills shot out, filling the entire palace with a rich medicinal aroma once again. A hint of greed flashed through Feng Tiandu's eyes at the sight of the two pills. Right at this moment, two more golden puppets popped up, seemingly out of nowhere, then grabbed the pair of high zenith pills before making their way toward the golden chair once again. "Are you all right, Junior Marshal Brother?" Feng Tiandu asked through voice transmission. Xianxia took a deep breath, then replied, "I had to use a secret technique to escape from that sea of fire, so I'm feeling a little drained, but I managed to escape serious injury. At this point, I definitely won't settle for leaving this place empty-handed, and I'm sure the same goes for you as well. Luo Qinghai most likely did something just now to contact all of the golden immortals outside, and once those people get in here, we'll be in an even worse situation, so we must claim High Zenith Pill now," Feng Tiandu declared in a cold voice. "But the restrictions in those statues are far too powerful for me to contend with on my own," Xianxia said with slightly furrowed brows. "That's fine. From my observations, it seems like while those gray statues are very formidable, they don't appear to be very intelligent or adaptable. Here's the plan. I'll find a way to distract them, and you take the pills while they're distracted," Feng Tiandu said. "All right, I'll give it another shot," Xianxia replied after a brief hesitation. While the two of them were communicating with one another through voice transmission, Han Li took a glance at the other people around him. The situation in the palace seemed to be worsening by the second. He was confident that he would be able to free himself from these origin separation law chains, but it would take some time to do so, and continuing to allow himself to be trapped like this didn't seem to be a good idea. Right as Han Li was hesitating about whether this was the right time to break free from the origin separation law chains, Feng Tiandu suddenly raised both hands to cast a pair of incantation seals into two of the black chains, namely the ones wrapped around Taoist Huyan and Ouyang Quishan. The two chains instantly began to glow brightly as countless black runes surged out of them, then converged to form a blurry black figure that was around half a foot tall. That's a domain spirit. As soon as the domain spirit took shape, it immediately flew into the bodies of Taoist Huyan and Ouyang Quishan in a flash. A series of black patterns instantly began to spread rapidly over their bodies, and their expressions changed drastically as they channeled their law powers to resist the invasive force with all their might. but to no avail. Feng Tiandu, what did you do? In the blink of an eye, the entirety of their bodies were covered in black patterns, and their auras already took on a drastic change. Immediately thereafter, the two of them were freed from the cage of chains and landed on the ground, but there was still a black chain connected to each of their dantians. Go! Feng Tiandu instructed, and the two of them immediately flew toward the pill cauldron. A hint of elation appeared on Qi Tianxiao's face upon seeing this, and he quickly took a regenerative pill as a gray cloud began to emerge out of his body. Han Li immediately understood Feng Tiandu's intentions, and a cold look appeared on his face. He was quite close with Taoist Huyan to begin with, and the latter had just given him the next 3 levels of the mantra-treasured axis, so he definitely couldn't just watch him fall to his demise. With that in mind, golden light flashed over his body. Yet right as he was about to do something, a blue door of light suddenly appeared at the entrance of the palace. The 4 vast flow palace golden immortals flew out from within, and they were clearly rather taken aback by the sight that they were greeted by. Immediately thereafter, Yun-Ni flew out of the door of light as well, and the surprise on the faces of the 4 vast flow palace golden immortals became even more pronounced at the sight of her. As soon as Yun-Ni appeared in the golden palace, she immediately spotted Taoist Huyan, and she conjured up a giant white snow lotus flower projection around herself, while a strange flying sword that resembled a lotus flower stem appeared in her hand. The lotus flower projection flew through the air, carrying her with it as she shot forth toward Taoist Huyan as quickly as she could. In this instant, it was as if she could see nothing but Taoist Huyan, and all of the surrounding perils were completely disregarded. What a loyal woman you are, Feng Tiandu remarked with a cold sneer. At the same time, 2 black chains shot out of the black light barrier up above, then crossed over one another in mid-air before hurtling directly toward Yun-Ni. Look out! Taoist Huyan hurriedly called out in an alarmed voice. However, Yun-Ni was desperate to save him, and even though she knew that an attack was descending upon her from above, she still refused to take evasive measures, instead accelerating even further on a straight-line trajectory toward Taoist Huyan. However, she was situated in Feng Tiandu's spirit domain, and there was no way that he would allow her to do as she pleased. Before she even had a chance to get close to Taoist Huyan, 2 more chains came flying at her from either side, and in conjunction with the pair of chains shooting down from above, all avenues for retreat and evasion were completely cut off. Right at this moment, a burst of bright golden light suddenly lit up on Han Li's chest. Immediately thereafter, the burst of golden light flickered slightly like a flame, then instantly transformed into a golden light barrier that encompassed the entire palace. Countless golden ripples appeared in the air above, and they were giving off a burst of tremendous law power fluctuations. In the instant that the chains converging toward Yun-Ni came into contact with these golden ripples, they were instantly slowed down significantly. An incredulous look flashed through Yun-Ni's eyes as she slipped through the gaps between the chains with ease, then arrived by Taoist Huyan's side. Nice one, kid! Taoist Huyan exclaimed as he turned to take a glance back at Han Li. At this moment, they were the only 2 people in this entire palace who weren't affected by the golden spirit domain, while everyone else, including Feng Tiandu and Luo Qinghai, could feel a burst of pronounced time law powers hanging in the air. Everyone was greatly alarmed by this abrupt turn of events, and a furious look appeared on Feng Tiandu's face. At the same time, he pointed a finger directly at Han Li, and a black chain shot out of his sleeve, then hurtled toward Han Li's dantian at an incredible speed. You want to seal my nascent soul away again? Shouldn't you know better than to try the same trick twice? Han Li chuckled with a derisive sneer on his face. As soon as his voice trailed off, a streak of azure light abruptly appeared in front of him. It was an azure bamboo cloud swarm sword, and it swept directly toward the black chain around Han Li's body. Arcs of golden lightning flashed over the sword's surface, further enhancing its already peerlessly sharp aura as it crashed into the black chain with a loud clang. The chain was instantly snapped, then disintegrated into a plume of black mist that fused back into the black spirit domain. Impossible! Feng Tiandu's expression changed drastically as he stared intently at the sword in Han Li's hand, and he was struggling to believe that just a single strike from this sword was able to sever his origin separation law chain. Unbeknownst to him, this was actually 3 Azure Bamboo Cloud Swarm swords fused as one, and that was the maximum number that Han Li could control at once. At this moment, the boundless sword chi emanating from the combined sword was far more formidable than the aura of any average immortal treasure. This seemed like quite a lengthy process, but in reality, all of it had taken place in an instant. After the chain around Han Li's body was snapped, the other black chain was already no more than an inch away from his lower abdomen, but all of a sudden he abruptly vanished from the spot. As it turned out, in the same instant that he had freed himself from that chain, he had also unleashed his reversal true axis ability to drastically enhance his own speed. After evading the oncoming chain, he arrived by Jin Tong's side in a flash, then snapped the chain around her body as well with another slash of his sword. Feng Tiandu's expression darkened even further upon seeing this, and if it weren't for the fact that he had to remain on the spot to control everyone else, he would have immediately stormed at Han Li to strike him down. A complex look had also appeared on Luo Qinghai's face upon seeing this, and at this moment, the vast Flow Palace golden immortals that he had summoned into the palace were also moving around in a very slow and sluggish fashion under the effects of Han Li's spirit domain.